Hello YouTube, today I'll be doing an unboxing and first look of the Corsair RM1000 power supply. Now, just going to quickly get the packaging up while I talk about some of the specs of the box. It's a 1000 watt power supply, or 1 kilowatt, whichever you want to say. It has a single 12 volt rail, which it can provide all 1000 watts upon. It can, camera zooms in there, can provide up to 83.3 amps on the 12 volt rail, 25 amps on the 5 volt rail, and 0.8 amps on the minus 12 volt rail, and then 25 amps on the 3.3 volt rail as well. 3.3 and 5 volts rails are capable of providing 150 watts of power. If you come and look at this graph over here, that's the fan. The bottom one is the fan curve. So 0 to 40% is zero fan. The fan just doesn't turn on. It gets to 40%, fan turns on, and it's approximately 10 decibels of noise level. Comparing that to the grey line, which is a regular power supply, which is always on, always running, and it's about 20 decibels. This top graph here is the efficiency curve of the power supply. So the just standard 80 plus specification. This is 80 plus gold power supply, by the way. It's just under 91% efficient, but a bit more than 90 it looks like. So say 90.5% efficient at 20% load. All the way up to 50%, which is its peak, and that's just over 91. I think it's 92%. And then at 100% it dips just under 89, so 88 in a bit, or 87 in a bit. Okay, that's the outside of the box, and that's everything interesting. I guess we could also talk about power cables. It's got a 20 plus 4 pin power connector, 2 8-pin CPU connectors, 8 PCIe Express 6 plus 2 pin connectors, 12 SATA connectors, 11 Molex connectors, 2 floppy connectors, and a Corsair COM port connector. COM port connector is interesting. It's used for linking the power supply up, non-digitally by the way, to a Corsair Link unit, or Corsair H100i can do it as well. Nice packaging here, has that nice new power supply smell. Okay, there is a seal here. Show again, box has not been opened until now. Yeah, packaging does smell nice, just for anyone who wants to know. So here's some very interesting documentation of warranty guide and quick start guide. Here's a quick start guide. Plug it in, turn it on, done. Okay, you have a very thick UK power cable, as I'm in the UK, to 3-pin kettle. Interesting, feels nice. Probably about 6 feet, maybe less. Okay, that's all the cables, more cables, screws, zip ties, and a Corsair case badge, which is pointless if you have a Corsair case. Now, looking inside the box, there is a very, very thick and nice soft closed cell phone, which is a little bit broken there, but never mind. Power supply is safe. Okay, going to get that out of the bag. Quick keys, and then we're going to move it away. Okay, so that is the box out of the way. I've just completely broken that bit of foam off now. But the important thing is the power supply itself seems to be okay. Okay, put that in there. Then put the documentation back in. And put the power cable outside the box. Okay, closing the box and moving on. This won't take long. We have, I'm sorry for the audio, it might be bad. We have all of the flat black cables. Even the 24 pin is completely flat. I can't give you length specifications, unfortunately. However, they're probably sufficient enough. Okay, so got your Molex to floppy. You got your 6 plus 2 pin PCI. Now they are daisy chained. There's one connector into your power supply, and then you have 2 PCI Express 6 plus 2 pins on one connector, on one cable. Sorry. This makes it an incompatible setup for the AMD R9295X V2, unless you use, obviously, two separate cables. Here we go. So you'd have to plug two separate ones in and plug the 8-pin into both of them. You can't just use one because it's a 500 watt TDP power supply. So obviously I don't need to get all of them in a group because I've already said the amount of them, but yeah, if get close with that, they are just flat black cables, very thin. They feel solid. They're not hard to move, but they're not flimsy, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Okay. So this is a look at the unit itself. If we look down here on the back of it, we'll see the same specifications that were on the outside of the box. You know, the 5-volt rail, 3.3, 12, minus 12. So that's that. It's past QC. That's great. It's a good thing. You get a lovely sticker on here that says, "Don't worry if your power supply fan isn't spinning," which it won't, obviously, again, until it hits 40% load. This is a 135mm custom design fan for this power supply itself, well, the RM line. It's very similar to their SP and AF. It's like a mix in between. It's not quite SP, but it's not an AF either. It's their own, can't remember the model name. So that can be removed. So that's a nice fan, nice grill that does, if the camera tries and gets flat along line, it does stick up slightly above this part of the power supply. The grill does stick up, but never mind. But yeah, honeycomb mesh in the back, the RM1000. You can probably see inside all the capacitors. Most of them are Jap caps, but the some of them are Chinese made capacitors, which makes no difference whatsoever. There is the connecting ports in the back, and that leads us to the interesting cable, the Corsair COM cable. Okay, I feel like I'm missing a little bit of it, which is over here. Okay, so how this works is, this is the type 3 connector, apparently the COM port connector, that goes into the, sorry, hands in the way, the C-Link port, upside down. There we go. And then that goes out to two almost look like fan connectors, but they go to two, again, fan connector looking cables that you get in a little silver electrostatically shielded bag, and that goes to a little custom block, and then to a USB header. Now this is all analog, it's not digital like the AXI. It's not digital like the AXI power supplies from Corsair, but it will provide 12 volt voltage, 12 volt rail voltage, 12 volt rail current, and the total amount of wattage going through the unit, which is quite interesting. Let me just get another cable. Cameraman looks back down at the back of the power supply. So 6 plus 2 pin PCIe, it does make solid connection. It's a good click, I guess. Sorry, that was the wrong end. Don't do that. It won't work. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's a solid click. Don't know if the camera heard it. Probably didn't. I barely heard it, but it feels solid. It's not coming out anywhere. Yeah. So that, I believe, concludes the video of the RM1000 watt power supply from Corsair. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and rate, comment, video, whichever. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, YouTube.